Today we're going to go over a basic operations of the US Jetting JMS Elite Control Panel. So first things first is you're going to want to turn your power switch on. When you turn your power switch on, most newer model units will have their beacon light attached to the power switch, so that tells you have power to your box. If you don't get any power whatsoever, you'll want to check your fuse and make sure your fuse is not blown. Some of the older models have a key start in order to crank the machine, while newer models are going to have a toggle switch in order to apply power to the control panel. With this particular model, this has a 6-button keypad feature, which can start and stop the engine, turn your water valve on and off, pressure up and pressure down, as well as a light to light up your control panel, and a gun mode in order to be able to operate a pressure washer gun. I'm also going to go through what the features on the screen look like. So as you can see, gray boxes on the right-hand side of your screen, those gray boxes are what we call your system faults. On the left-hand side of your screen, you have got a button that says faults. And if you click on the button, it is going to tell you if you have any engine faults. It will read off a number, and you want to pay attention to the SPN and the FMI number. In order to go back to the home screen, you're just going to click the button that says home. On this same screen, you're now going to see your engine hours, your oil pressure, your battery voltage, and your coolant temperature. It's also going to read off what your water pressure is, what your engine idle pressure is, and what your engine RPM setting is. This particular model uses PSI presets, which are set by the factory depending on which model of machine you have. However, you can go in and change them by simply clicking the button below where it says PSI presets. As you can see, this machine is a 4,000 PSI jetter, so we've set it up in 1,000 PSI increments. If you want to change your presets, you can simply hit the enter button and it will highlight a number, and you can use the up or down arrow in order to change whatever you want as your PSI preset. So for example, if I would like this to have a preset of 2,000 PSI, I can hit the toggle button and then I will hit the enter button and it will stay there. If I wish to change it back to the original setting, I hit the enter button and then I will go and hit up to go to 1,000, enter button, and then it'll change to what I want. Same thing goes for preset 2, preset 3, and preset 4. So once I have the desired pressures that I want, I will go ahead and hit the home button and it'll take me back to the main screen. What's nice about these push buttons is that the engine start-stop will change color depending on what it's actually doing. So when it's not running, it's going to be green. When you start the engine, it's going to switch to red. The same concept applies to the other buttons, except for they will just turn on. So when the button is engaged, it will go to a color. So for example, for the water button, it's blue. And then for the other buttons, it's going to be a white color, but it does tell you if a button is engaged or if the water is on the machine. What's nifty about this system is it also has a pressure washing mode. What that means is that you can basically operate this machine at 3,000 PSI and stay there. So that way you don't have to worry about pressuring up or pressuring down. How to engage the gun mode button is you will simply turn the machine on, you will turn your water valve on, and then you will simply press the button that is lit up like a pressure washer gun. Once you get the white light around this button, then the unit is going to go to 3,000 PSI and it's going to stay there. The gun mode feature allows you to be able to keep jetting if for some reason your transducer has failed or is no longer reading your digital pressure.